Today's topic is, what are the two most important skill sets for an investor relations officer? And so this is going to be a two-part video, and there's two skill sets that every HR professional is looking to find when they're sourcing for an IRO. And that's, does the IRO have the ability to build trust with executives, and does he or she have the ability to push back on those same executives? And so let's get into this idea of, how do I build trust with public company executives? And it's sort of a flywheel construct. And it starts with, when you start in a role, you're given complex, high-impact projects, and then you have to execute. And when you execute, you reward that initial trust, and you get new projects. And as you build on those projects and execution, you really establish that foundation of strong trust. Now, you can do this in a very short period of time if you're dealing with, activism or a crisis or missing numbers, things that need immediate reaction and immediate faith from executives. If you execute on these, you're going to get a lot of value. And this has been my brand that started behind me at Nuveen Investments in 1999 when I worked in the mailroom, which was being given complex, high-impact projects and then executing and building on that trust. As I've gotten older and more sophisticated in my career, I've added what I call the secret sauce. And this is the idea of, how do I provide counsel to public company executives? And it's the idea of not being a yes man. And it's this idea of, when executives approach me for advice or counsel on a topic, I am giving thoughtful, outward-facing advice based on the goals that they're trying to achieve. Now, the problem is, sometimes you have to provide a negative statement or a negative reaction to the information given to you by that public company executive if you want to give advice to get them to the goal they want to achieve. And it comes down to this idea that if you're a public company executive, you have to decide, do you want control or do you want success? And sometimes if you want to be successful, you need to be open to that pushback and that expert advice from the person you've hired who is an expert in their craft to help you achieve that goal. Because the problem is, if you're not willing to hear that thoughtful advice that may have some negative connotations or may not be what you want to hear, you're leading yourself down a pathway of shareholder value destruction. And that's the quickest way to end your career. Thanks for watching.